Yes. Go ahead, Ms. Perez.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much for attending our presentation on remote learning. So today we're going to be talking about the expectations and guidelines for remote learning for your student. And this could apply whether your student's classroom goes remote for a period of time, the whole school goes remote for a period of time on these remote learning days, and we will have 2 more of them this semester, or if your child, your family, has to quarantine for a period of time. So I'm Megan Perez. I'm one of the pre-K 4 teachers, primary teachers here at Lake Air Montessori, and this is my 5th year teaching primary at Lake Air.
And I am Allison Davis. This is my 12th year with Waco ISD. I did 8 years previously at Dean Highland Elementary, teaching pre-K 4, and then this is my 4th year at Lake Air teaching primary, and then this year pre-K 4. We're thrilled to be here, and we do a bunch together. On a normal year, we have lots of things that we do together, from kinder time to yoga farm days, chef Fridays. We do lots of things. This year, on a pandemic year, we're still collaborating, but in a different way, through parent workshops, parent meetings, and then through our online assignments and assignment boards. And through me having a baby at the beginning of the year, Ms. Perez helped so much with my class as far as the Zoom meetings and some facilitation, and then I'm going to do the same for her here in a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna get started on our presentation. Go back a little bit, sorry about that. Here we go. Remote learning for pre-K families, guidelines and expectations. Go ahead, Ms. Perez.
So we're going to start by talking about the importance of pre-K. So both Ms. Davis and I have been teaching for a long time, but we both chosen to teach primary, which includes pre-K and kindergarten, because we really, really strongly believe in the importance of what children learn during the pre-K 3 and pre-K 4 year. It's really the foundation upon which all other learning is built. And when I say all other learning, I mean through 12th grade and beyond. Pre-K skills prepare students for kindergarten readiness and success. We measure these pre-K skills through several assessments that are given throughout the year, including the CLI assessment, which is given at the beginning, middle, and end of the year, and other ongoing assessments such as letter names and sounds and observation that's done by the teacher. Students really need to be engaged on a daily basis in meaningful and specific learning activities that we have chosen with much care on those remote learning days. And we've designed these activities based on the pre-K guidelines written by the state of Texas, by TEA, and on the Waco ISD scope and sequence. These assignments are reflected on the report card. So just know that we've put a lot of time and care into choosing these assignments, and they are specific to what your child needs in order to be successful in pre-K and beyond.
So a minimum pre-K academic expectations. So in order for your child to be fully prepared for kindergarten, students need to know the following academic skills. And keep in mind, this is the bare minimum. This is what they need to know so they won't be behind starting off the year. All letter names and sounds, rapid in less than 3 seconds. So to have that automaticity, they need to be able to say those letters and sounds as quickly as possible to aid in the progress of reading. They need to identify and produce rhyming words. They need to be able to have alliteration skills for identifying and producing. That's words that start with the same sound. Listening skills, counting words in a sentence, and recognizing that there are different parts of a sentence in each word. Onset and rhymes, syllabication, identifying beginning and medial sounds in words, and then rapid vocabulary naming. So then for math, they need to be able to rote count to 30, name basic shapes, circle, square, rectangle, triangle, and oval. They need to discriminate between a number and a letter or another character. They need to be able to name numbers 0 through 10 at minimum. shape discrimination. So if there's a bunch of different shapes shown, they can pick out all the squares or all the triangles, no matter their size or direction. They need to be able to count sets up to at least 15. Basic addition and subtraction of operations with pictures or counters. Make patterns, view patterns, recognize patterns, and then making sets are just some basic academic expectations that they need. And all those things will set them up for a future success in kindergarten.
And again, these are minimum expectations. We have many students who go far beyond this skill set. So this is really the very least that a child needs to know in order to be ready for the beginning of the kindergarten year.
So going into remote learning, do you want to take this one?
Mm-hmm. So please be prepared. And this, remote learning, as you have seen happen this year, can happen with very little notice at the last minute, even overnight. So please make sure that you know how to log into Clever, how to use Seesaw, how to submit assignments, so that if and when we do go remote again, or if your family has to go remote, you know exactly how to keep your little one on track. So when this does happen, your child's iPad and charger will be sent home with your student on the last day of in-person learning. In the case of going remote overnight, or if your child is absent that day for some reason, we take the iPad and charger to the front office for you to pick up. We have a very limited number of iPads and chargers, and in fact, the school does not have any extra iPads or chargers at this point. So whatever was sent back to school the last time we returned to school is what we will send home. So if the charger's been lost, that's going to need to be replaced by the family because we don't have any extra. So please make sure that you keep track of those things and return them to school when your child does come back. And then your child's teacher will contact you with specifics about instruction, but that's kind of what we're going to be going over today. And we have worked really hard to make sure that the academic expectations on these remote learning days are very clear and very user-friendly, and that they stay the same pretty much all year, with the exception of different lessons or different activities that are being done. But if you've done it before, it's going to continue to look the same.
So daily remote learning expectations, Zooms. Your child is expected to attend Zooms multiple times a day. The Zoom meetings are our only form of direct instruction with your child when we are remote. If your child is not attending the Zoom meetings or meetings in general, and they're not fully participating or engaged, they will not be ready for kindergarten. They just won't. We do these things so that we can help them to get acclimated to direct instruction, to get a gauge on what they know and what they need to know. This is extremely important. They are also expected to do Seesaw assignments. And also, please don't help your child in any way academically while on the Zoom meetings or in small group Zooms. We want to know what they know and what they need to work on. And it's really helpful for us to know what exactly they need to know so we can directly tailor their instruction. Because in the classroom, we're giving many small group and one-on-one lessons per day. And this is your child's only way to do that while remote, whether they're a remote student, for the 6 weeks or for just a short time. And so that it really needs to be tailored and with what they need to work on. Let your child be the guide as you do the work independently. We want to see a 4 and 5 year old's work. We want to see what they can do and what they know. Please help your child with technology issues, navigating online programs, and posting work. That part they will not be able to do on their own at all. Did you want to add anything, Ms. Perez?
No. So when we do come back to in-person learning, please return your child's iPad and charger the first day that we come back to school. We have to take an inventory of all of that equipment, and if we are missing something, we will reach out to you to try to track that down. And again, please be sure to return to school on the correct day for your student. So if you're unsure about when we return to school, you can always reach out to the teacher or to the nurse, Brooke Hernandez. Here's her email information. She's very helpful and very knowledgeable. And she can tell you exactly when your child needs to return to school in the case of individual quarantine. And when your child does come back to school, now this goes for if it's COVID related or not, but if your child was at home because he or she was sick, they really need to return to school with a doctor's note releasing them back to school and with an alternate diagnosis or a negative COVID test. And that's important to keep everybody healthy and safe, but also so that your child's absences can become excused absences versus unexcused absences.
They're still going to be absent. They'll just be excused instead of unexcused. And daily attendance. Do you want to?
So students are required to maintain a 90% attendance rate for the school year. And if your child falls below that line of 90% attendance, it could jeopardize his or her spot as a magnet student at Lamb. So Lake Erie is a magnet school, and one of their requirements is 90% or higher attendance. The way that we take attendance is by assignment completion in Seesaw. So this is a refinement to the way that attendance has been taken previously this year. So for remote students or on those remote learning days, your child must submit work in Seesaw in order to be counted present. So even if they attend a Zoom, even if we get an email from you, if they do not submit work in Seesaw, they will be marked absent for that day. And the work needs to be turned in on the day that it's due, on the day that it's assigned, in order for your child to be counted present. So it has to be turned in on Seesaw by 11:59 p.m. and the work is all time stamped. And that's what we use to take attendance. If your child does get behind on work, it's a wonderful idea to go back and catch up on that missed work, and you can submit it to us, and that's great information for us as teachers. However, it will not impact their attendance for previous days. So for example, if there's an assignment that's due on Monday and your child's having a rough day or not feeling well that day, and on Wednesday you go back and complete that work with your child and turn it into us, it's great for us to see, it's great practice for your child, but we cannot go back and change their attendance for Monday on Wednesday.
And here's the infographic that was shared with parents this week from WISD. And it does outline in-person attendance as well as remotes. Here is our online assignment board. The live links are blue. So in Seesaw, all you have to do is press view original, and those links turn live. Which just means if you click here, it'll take you to my Zoom or Miss Perez's Zoom. If you click here, it'll take you to the Zoom. If you click here, it's going to take you to the pre-recorded read aloud on our YouTube channel, which could go between Miss Perez's YouTube channel or mine. Here we have our phonological pre-recorded lesson or activity, and that's a live link. So math, Tuesday, Thursday, there are live links to activities. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they will be logging in through Clever to a program called Imagine Math. Not Imagine Math Facts, but Imagine Math. And we will check the usage there. So on my Seesaw, parents can just type done, but we'll go back in and check as teachers the amount of minutes that were done. Over here for Journal, the prompts are here, as well as what we would like to see during their time. For reading, you can use these resources to read to your child, Epic, Storyline, or books at home. And then here's a link to our daily reading log that you can submit. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, there are Seesaw activities that are posted in Seesaw. So you'll see there's no live links there. It's assigned in Seesaw. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have our Montessori work for social, emotional, practical life, sometimes social studies, and even sensorial work. Ms. Perez, did you want to touch on what's appropriate for posting?
Yeah, so the pieces that are highlighted in yellow require either a photo or a video of your child completing the work. And what we would like to see is actually a picture of your child completing the work or a picture of the completed work. Because these tasks are meant to be purposeful, and what we would like to see as teachers is what your child is able to do. So rather than sending us a screenshot of the iPad or a picture of the screen, we really want to see your child completing the work. Or in the case of the journal, we want to see a picture of the journal page, so that we can really get a good gauge of what your child can do, what they might need reteach or a small group or an individual lesson on. But this work that you submit through Seesaw gives us feedback as teachers as far as how we need to adjust instruction. So what you submit needs to be something that will help us do our jobs better. So the highlighted assignments are the ones that you need to submit in Seesaw. Everything else does need to be completed, but it does not require a picture or video.
And this is kind of what we went over just in some bullet points about the daily assignments and the live Zooms. Zooms will not be recorded or posted anymore. They need to be present and join in on those.
Yeah, so just a word about that. The 8 o'clock community meeting Zoom and the science lesson Zoom on Tuesdays and Thursdays are not optional. Those are Zooms that need to be attended by all students every day, just like the small group lessons in the afternoon.
So here's some Zoom expectations for a community meeting and our science lesson, as well as our small groups. So be ready to focus. No toys, pets, or siblings. Please no food or drink sitting out just as if your child was in the classroom. Set them up for success by making a space for them to learn, no TV or other distractions, so they can get the most out of being with us for that time. Be dressed and ready for school, and please be on time. Did you want to add anything else, Ms.
I was
Perez?
just going to say these lessons are pretty short and very intensive. We're trying to pack a lot of instruction into a short amount of time. So please do make sure that your child is focused, is there to learn, and that they're in an environment where there's no background noise, where they can hear us and we can hear them, because these are interactive lessons. And we understand that every once in a while you might be on your way to a doctor's appointment, or have some kind of extenuating circumstances, but for the most part, your child should be stationary at home or in an office. I understand sometimes they have to be at work with you or something like that, but they should be sitting in a chair on the floor, looking at the screen and ready to participate. Thank you so much for attending, for watching the video, and we hope that this was helpful in understanding what's expected of you and your child on these remote learning days as they come. And as always, we're available for any questions that you might have.
And please feel free to share this with any caregivers that may be taking care of your child during these days, whether it be one day for all school remote day or quarantine for family or class or school. We appreciate you coming and watching and engaging in your child's learning. We really know that without you, their learning is not possible. So we are here to support you and any way we can. So thank you, and we appreciate you. Please feel free to email us with any questions. Bye.